Always low prices at Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza.
Yesterday, News 25 spoke to Mason Voehl, the executive director of Amargosa Conservancy, to get his comments regarding the lawsuit that was filed against BLM in regards to the drilling that is to occur on land close to Meadows, a national wildlife refuge. This lawsuit was also filed jointly by the Center for Biological Diversity. We asked Mason Voehl if the lawsuit has successfully ceased drilling operations or if it was only delayed. In response to this, Mason commented that we're at the point where we are hoping our lawsuit is successful in preventing the drilling from starting. We believe the company intends to commence phase 1 of drilling within the next few weeks. We filed our legal complaint on Friday of last week, asking for a 2-month delay for the drilling project, providing time for the court to consider our case. If this delay isn't granted, we will be filing a temporary restraining order in hopes of preventing drilling from commencing. We continue to interview the executive director, asking how he felt about the public support that has been garnered due to the situation. Mason had this to say. Given how quickly this situation has developed, we have been doing everything we can over the last few weeks to get this issue on the radar of the communities that are most affected by the potential impacts of this project. Honestly, we weren't sure what the response would be, but in having conversations with people living in the communities of Pahrump, Crystal, Beatty, and Amargosa Valley, people are gravely concerned about this project. The people that live in this area are proud of where they live, and they're frustrated with the projects like this one being pushed forward without any opportunity for them to raise their voices. Clearly, people here are concerned about potential impacts to Meadows National Wildlife Refuge and its surrounding lands, and that is reflected in the support we've secured on our public petition. I take a lot of hope from the nearly 1,400 letters that have been submitted, written by people who love Meadows and do not want to see it harmed. This groundswell of support for our campaign is highly encouraging, and we're going to do everything we can to ensure this community gets a say in how this project moves forward. Finally, we finished off this interview asking Mason's thoughts on how the situation could or should have been handled differently. Mason answered saying, "We would have liked to see this situation handled very differently. We would have liked to see the Bureau of Land Management recognize that this project poses a direct threat to groundwater and therefore the refuge. We would have liked to see the BLM consult with the Fish and Wildlife Service, who manages the refuge, regarding potential impacts to the endangered and endemic species that live in the springs near the exploration area. We would have liked to see the communities notified and engage in the process through public scoping and comments. We would have liked to see a thorough analysis conducted regarding the environmental impacts of this project. At the end of the day, the question should have been asked from the very beginning. Is this really an appropriate place for exploratory drilling and mining? Or should areas like Meadows and its waters be off the table for these potentially destructive activities? Asking these questions would have led to preventing much of the conflict that has arisen as a result of the BLM allowing this project to move forward as it hopefully did. As this story progresses, News 25 will keep informing the public about this issue.